You're listening to KTX Life, a podcast about health, wellness, and mindset, hosted by Nate Fancher and Kyle Flowers. This is episode 3.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to KTX Life. I don't think we've ever actually done, maybe we did in the beginning. We did in the last episode. I'm Nate Fancher, co-host along with Kyle Flowers, the man behind KTX Fit and KTX Nutrition. Head over to Instagram right here. We've got my computer open, and I'm looking for my Instagram page. I think I lost it. It's KTX. What is it again? Instagram KTX _nutrition. How'd you do it? Let's see.
KTX Nutrition.
There it is. And been enjoying our conversation with Kyle, and Taylor's our producer. Thanks for hanging out, Taylor. All right. So in this episode, we're going to be doing. Where someone's watching this, they're bound. Let's assume we've got some CrossFitters. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of different categories, right?
Yeah, like cross haters too.
Cross haters, CrossFitters, cross non-fitter, yeah, cross lifers.
Non-conformists is what I call them.
Non-conformists.
Non-believers.
Non-believers.
Shun the non-believers, Nate Dogg.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to do that. That's your job. I can hang with, hey, if you're against CrossFit, are there really people that are like CrossFit haters?
Are you serious?
I don't know, man. That's why I'm in this with you. I'm here to be educated.
It's awesome. I love cross haters.
Why are there cross haters? I mean, if you just look around this gym, it's like...
They don't understand.
This is amazing. I mean,
people have the wrong idea if they hate it. They just don't understand.
They probably hate it from... I would assume people would hate it from like, it's too intense. Oh, we should tell them the CrossFit story that I had.
If they think
remember my CrossFit story?
No, I want to hear it though.
Oh, a few people know about my CrossFit story. I thought I told you this.
You probably did.
Do we need to get into this right now?
Yeah.
Last episode, we talked about CrossFit. I don't want to get too off topic. This is probably the perception why there are some CrossFit haters, now that I think about it. So, remember Living Social? I don't know if they're still around. Living Social? It's like a, kind of like...
it's like a Groupon
It's thing, like Groupon, right? Yeah. My mom, this is what makes this story so hilarious, because my mom, like I'm a mama's boy. Mm-hmm. She sends me a birthday present, a coupon to some local CrossFit gym. This is in North Carolina, Living Social CrossFit thing. And I kept putting it off. I did not go to redeem this coupon. It was like a free membership thing. It would have been sweet for like a few sessions, and then you pay like a discounted rate or something. And I just put it off, but I wanted to go and visit the CrossFit gym. I show up at the CrossFit gym kind of between class hours because I wanted to meet the guy. And I walk in. It was not quite like this, but it was sort of an intense environment. Right? That's already the perception that CrossFit gyms are intense. There's no AC. It's like they make you suffer.
Yeah. I mean...
Because you're already going to... And maybe that's where the CrossFit hate comes in, but let me continue my story.
Okay.
I don't know. I walk in. There's like a group of guys. They're huddled up, and they are like definitely more in shape than me, and they don't look very happy. I've just interrupted this really good conversation. Here's this nerdy kid coming in. I walk in. And he was nice. He was nice enough. I said, hey, my name's Nate. I'm here to check out your gym. I got this Living Social thing. He's like, oh, yeah. Here, let me give you a tour. And we walked around his gym. It was bigger than this. It had a few different, like, places around corners and around this and that. And I saw all the ropes hanging and everything. And he's explaining the whole sport. I didn't really know much about CrossFit, but he kind of went into the whole background and the philosophy. He was an ex-fireman. Which I guess a lot of fire guys, firemen. It's common. Yeah. Anyway, he was like, yeah, man. And then he started to kind of tell me his culture of how he coaches. And this is where I started to kind of get nervous. Because he's like...
I'm nervous right now.
Yeah, you're nervous right now. Because he's like, yeah, man, on time is late, that whole philosophy. Oh, early is on time is late.
The military philosophy.
Yeah, which is a good philosophy to live by. But he's like, yeah, I turn people away if they come in 5 minutes before class starts. He's like, get out of here. He's like a jerk about the way he like coaches his classes. He's telling me this. He's like, that's just my style. I really want to motivate people. I believe in like really just bringing people upward. I was like, okay, that's awesome. I'm like sitting there going like, yeah, okay, cool. So he's like, all right, you got to sign up, man. Don't wait. I'm like intimidated, of course. I leave, but I told him, I said, actually, I'm leaving for Thanksgiving. This is right before Thanksgiving. I said, I'm leaving for a week. I'll have to do it when I get back. I'll get started.
I hear that every day.
I'm feeling nervous just sitting next to you telling you this story. I told you this story one time.
I know. I like it.
You remember it now?
Yeah,
don't you?
I want the people to hear it.
Okay. So I left, went on the trip, and then I forgot to sign up. I was like the day after where the coupon expired. It wasn't. I could still sign up, and now that I think about it, it's like that was dumb. I should have just still signed up. Mm-hmm. But I let it expire. I tried to sign up online. His website was messed up or something. You need to make sure your website's good to go.
Should be good.
Okay, because like guys like me will go in there try to sign up and they can't, and then they like. So I'm like, okay, crap, I'm late now. The next day, maybe he'll honor it still. I'll drive there. So I went there. I was a little bit nervous. Walk in, same scenario, group of guys in the corner. He's like, hey, man, what's up? I was like, hey, man, I was in here about a week or so ago. He's like, oh, yeah, you're that guy. He's like, oh, did you sign up? I'm like, well, yeah, I tried to yesterday, and your website, no. He's like, dude, you came into my gym. I walked around this whole place, gave you a tour. I told you all about CrossFit. I told you all about this stuff. He put his hand out like this. He's like, Mr. Fancher, there are two people in the world. Actually, no, it wasn't like this yet. Hold on. Let go. Okay, hold on. He's like, Mr. Fancher, there are two kinds of people in the world. Those who do things and those who talk about doing things. You, my friend, have proven to be the second person. Then he put his hand out. Mr. Fancher, get out of my gym. Have a great day. That's a true story. That was my CrossFit experience. Is that why CrossFit haters exist, cross haters? Because they think it's too intense. It's like not warm and fuzzy, like the Lifetime Fitness thing where you walk in, there's a fountain and like a big.
There's some warm and fuzzy gyms out there.
CrossFit gyms.
Yeah. But they probably wouldn't give you a free trial. Probably give you like a on-ramp, 3-day on-ramp where you pay like $150 a session or something.
Wow.
But I can't imagine running a gym like that.
You're not that kind of a coach.
I would never. No.
Get out of here. Like, have a great day.
Yeah.
Like, it was a pretty, I left that gym with my tail between my legs, man. And so ever since then, I have not joined a CrossFit gym until I found you.
I don't blame you.
So why is there cross haters? And this is not even what we're going to talk about. Well, we're going to get to some questions in a second, but why are there cross haters?
The kipping pull-up's probably one of the biggest reasons.
The what?
The kipping pull-up.
Can I look at this up?
The regular kip and then the butterfly pull-up.
Kipping pull-up.
People see that on the videos, and they just make fun of it.
This is it right here. This is it.
Yeah, that's kipping pull-up.
So people make fun. People hate CrossFit because of that. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the number one thing I see people making fun of is the kipping pull-up.
Just because of how it looks, or
it's
what?
Not. Yeah, it looks silly, especially if people aren't doing it.
I can imagine a few people doing this.
People learning it, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people shouldn't be doing a kipping pull-up, and you got to make sure your form's good, or you'll get little slap tears and stuff like that. And then a lot of the weightlifting. So people see weightlifting as a sport, and like snatch and clean and jerk is an Olympic sport, and it's very technical, and it's one lift at a time, and they want to be flawless every rep. So when they see people understand it more now in the weightlifting community, but at first they would see people doing like 30 clean and jerks for time. That's one of the CrossFit benchmarks. Mm-hmm. And every single rep wasn't flawless, but it doesn't mean that you're doing it dangerous. It's just not how you perform a 1 rep max in the weightlifting world. People would see that for reps, especially on social media. So you got hardcore
weightlifters.
Hardcore weightlifters, strict bodybuilding, people that isolate muscle groups and go slow and controlled, and they see full body dynamic movements.
They hate it because it is against what they're taught in the traditional bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
Or do they hate it because it's actually like they have an idea that it's harmful?
I've seen the harmful side. Chiropractors or physical therapists and different orthopedics and people that see movements and they're like, that's not the way the body's intended to move, blah, blah, blah. And I could see their points on some cases, especially it's so easy when you see people's videos online, people learning the technique behind it and they're trying to do it for speed.
Are there any funny YouTube videos where
there's
what's one? Let me search for.
Dude, CrossFit fails video. I mean, it's hilarious. It's easy. It's very easy to pick apart, and people that fall in love with the community and fall in love with CrossFit, really people that fall in love with anything, they're passionate about it. They're going to post about it. They talk about it. So then it's easy to hate on it.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
Here's a guy. Look
People
at him.
are going to talk crap about anything.
Is that the Kipling thing?
That's the butterfly pull-ups. That's the
Butterfly.
silliest looking one.
He's about to hurt himself. Ow! Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Okay.
So yeah, it's understandable
Wow.
why it's easy to pick on it, but most people that sit there and bash it hardcore, they're haters. They just don't either understand the methodology behind it, or they might have tried it and had a bad experience, or a lot of people that get hurt, it's because of their pride and ego. It's not because of the movements they were doing.
Yeah.
It could have been a long history of issues or that inflammation we talked about.
Sorry, did you see that?
The
he
failed
totally,
snatches.
No, he totally busted the mirror behind him. Did you see that?
Yeah, you shouldn't be lifting with mirrors behind you.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that at some point.
Yeah,
there are no mirrors in this gym.
Yeah, we had some for a little while. They weren't really like in the gym; they were in the back. But I saw too many people looking at them, so I
That's
took
an
them down.
interesting perspective. All right, so because I would love to talk about that at some point. No mirrors in your gym, but anyway, CrossFit haters exist, and I can't remember exactly why we were going down that path, but I know that at the end of the day, CrossFit, like we were talking in the last episode, you've got a lot of CrossFitters out there who aren't informed about healthy choices, and that's because the sports side became so popular.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to ask now, as we kind of, the second half of this episode, where do we start? Where do those people, where do I start? Someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, I'm a CrossFitter. I feel that pain. I'm like you might even have some people in your gym.
Oh yeah.
Who are like sore, but they're kind of medicating like you were.
Yeah.
Where do they start if they're watching this? And they're like, I feel that.
Well,
don't name any names because I know you might have some people.
I would make
watching
them
this.
start with writing down what they ate for 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
I'll give my time and energy to anyone. Like even if they don't come to the gym, email, text, call. If someone cares to live healthy and make changes, I'll give them all the time and energy in the world until they just don't give it back. So it's like, show me that you can write down what you ate. What you ate, is that right? The food you consumed and the drinks you consumed, in honesty and full detail for a couple days, and then give it to me so I can just identify some all right, this for sure needs to go. If you're
getting a sample of someone's diet for the last 3 days, you're probably getting a sample of how they always eat.
Yeah,
most people don't change that up. That much.
And the funny thing is they do change. They're like, and I make them tell did you eat healthier than normal the last 2 to 3 days? And yeah. And then also people will lie, but not intentionally, or they're just unaware. So I've been eating healthy. And I used to be like, okay, well, I believe that. And then I started realizing everyone's opinion on what healthy eating is completely different, night and day different. And so someone's walking to Subway. I'm just saying that because Jared walked to Subway and lost weight, and then Subway's right across the street from here. If people are walking to Subway for lunch every day, that they have the idea that they're eating healthy lunch, and to me that's not the idea of a healthy lunch. And it's
Jared lost a lot of weight.
He lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
That's a whole other thing, man.
Yeah.
Weight loss does not necessarily mean health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, it depends on where they're at. Everyone's unique, so that's why it's hard to say, well, where should I start? It's because, well, first of all, you need to start moving. So if it doesn't mean you have to do CrossFit, but you need to start moving, get your heart rate up, and sweat a little bit.
Are you a get your heart rate up 20 minutes a day kind of guy?
20 minutes a day.
20 minutes, is that? I've heard people say that. Is that?
I like to look at it as full total. I don't like steps. I don't like looking at how many steps someone take. But look at someone's lifestyle.
That's a loud car right there.
Yeah,
is that messing everything
that
up?
happens.
Okay. You're working out in here. You hear this dude on a Harley.
Well, if the train goes by and they're revving the horn right at the intersection. But the 20 minutes a day, if someone's sitting down 12 hours a day, isn't really going to cut it. So it kind of depends on the lifestyle.
Well, I
overall.
had a couple of notes for kind of where do I start. I wanted to ask you, like for me, like I like the idea of motivating someone by saying, we want to get you to feel good, right? Like, let's start with just how do you feel right now? What's your natural state of feeling, physically speaking? And we recently, my wife and I, were just feeling pretty bad. And then we were like, let's just do it. Let's just fast for 3 days. We did a 3-day thing.
Water?
No. So, well, and that's another. So actually, fasting is an interesting discussion. I wanted to ask you about that. Would you recommend that to people? Like, you look at their diet, or anything. Like, is not fasting like a good way to kind of start something? Let's just start by don't eat.
I love fasting
For a couple of days. Don't eat. Yeah.
It depends on their body fat percentage, and that's where it gets rough because I'm not a doctor, and the idea of fasting is wild to a lot of people, but I know there's profound effects behind it, and the research is there, and the history behind it is there. So
Dude, we felt so much. I mean,
I'm very comfortable recommending it, but always putting the disclaimer out.
Yeah.
But it just depends who they are, but.
And we did coffee the first day and a few smoothies, so it wasn't a total fast.
Yeah.
It was just, and then the next day I think it was just water and I don't know. Anyway, so it was like, it was a fast still. So I was like hungry. And at one point on the third day, I had a moment where I was like driving and I just didn't have any water, and I'm like probably dehydrated, and I felt like I was gonna die. So I pulled over and got some water. So I probably didn't do it there's probably a smart way to do it.
You probably weren't going to die, though.
Jesus, he did 40 days without food or water.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Okay. But is that something you tell people? Like, or is that not, do you kind of have people just start?
Like if I just met them?
No, I mean, like, where do I start? That's the question, right? Where do I start? Like, if you wanted to, like, just do if someone was committed enough and they're like, I need to take an extreme sort of turn for my life and I want to get over this feeling of crappiness.
I would let them make their own decision on the fasting, but I would provide them a lot of information behind it. That's the best way I could. If I'm very comfortable with the person, I've known them a while. Yeah. I mean, we've had multiple people do the 5-day water only fast, and I've done them multiple times myself, but depends on who they are and where they're at and what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, you don't really have any sort of like start plan, like start here, like do this, point A, point B, point C, point.
I've tried laying it out like that, outline form. It's just everyone's so unique and everyone's lifestyle is so unique. It's hard to. I guess I could say just pick something and stick to it for 30 days, like the whole 30 or paleo or a zone diet or
keto.
I wouldn't say start there.
That's pretty intense.
Keto's such a strict protocol that could go really well if you do it right, or it could go.
Well, your body can't be in ketosis literally for 30 days. That would be, unless you're fasting for 30 days.
Yeah, it could be a slippery slope.
Yeah.
But
I guess the kind of, as we wrap this one up, the main thing is like people need handles. They need some tangible sort of plan.
Yeah.
And so there's got to be. Is there not some sort of universal plan that you could tell someone, for the most part? Where do I start?
Eat real food. So I would eliminate anything in your pantry, cupboard, whatever, fridge, freezer of processed. So. And then aim for this for a month. So just eat real food, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and make healthy, fun recipes that taste good, but just make sure it's predominantly real food, at least 80% or more. And then pick any kind of program, even if it's yoga or YouTube videos, body pump, a CrossFit gym, Orange Theory, any.
Just be active.
Do some activity. Go for a walk after lunch or before lunch. There's just
and then
keep moving. People need to move more.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I mean we're about at the end of our time here, but I sit at a desk for lots of hours at a computer, and I'm like, I used to have a thing where I'd have a little timer and I'd just drop and do like 10 push-ups, but I haven't done that in a long time. Well, I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I'm bad.
So yeah, glycemic variability. So
Yeah.
before any meal, so for people that sit at work all day, before any snack or any meal, make sure you move. If it's like 30 seconds to a minute of jumping jacks, push-ups,
cool.
air squats, sit-ups, lunges.
Before you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll help, get your body moving and utilize that food better. Every minute that you sit, so say you sit for 50 minutes, do 1 second of exercise per hour. So if you sat 50 minutes, then do 50 seconds of mountain climbers, jumping jack, any air squats, chair
For every
squats.
minute, 1 second.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Per hour.
Per hour. Yeah.
And then make sure that you have those planned breaks in there. So get away from a cell phone and go for a walk outside so that you're getting some vitamin D and some non-artificial light.
Yep.
That'll go a long way. But just
Awesome.
having strategies in the workplace is.
But I just thought of
very
this. Those are for guys like me.
Mm-hmm.
What about the CrossFitter who we were talking about the whole up till just now, who's very active?
Yeah.
Where do they start?
With health?
Where do they start? Yeah, with health.
Yeah, that depends on where they're at. Most of them, I would start with looking at their sleep. Make sure that
we're gonna have a whole episode on that one.
Yeah, make sure they're getting enough. They're recovery for an athlete of any sport is going to be top priority in my opinion.
Would you say to an active or super active CrossFitter who's maybe on all those pain meds and they're just feeling like crap all the time, would you say, listen, stop working out for a few days? Would you tell them stop working out? What would you say? Like,
I would wait till they're out of season.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not going to tell a competitive CrossFitter right now to stop working out because we're in the middle of the CrossFit Open.
Oh, right now we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But say it's a football player and they're in season. It's like, all right, we don't want to make any dramatic changes, but as soon as season's over, let's start playing with some ideas on inflammation and recovery. Or at those advanced level athletes will be willing to get the blood panels done on inflammatory markers and let's focus on recovery. So
yeah, but they shouldn't stop eating and fast for a day in the middle of
no,
that's not going to be a good idea.
Not for most of them. No.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. We're going to talk more about, in the next one, supplements. We're going to get more into it. But as we end here, head over to KTX_nutrition. That's the Instagram page. Give us a follow there. And then KTXnutrition.store. I mean, a CrossFitter who's wanting to really make some good choices could get the Real Deal, which is very good for athletes, just helping them with anti-inflammatory stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And all right, so let's wrap this up, man. Anything you want to say as we say goodbye on this episode?
Goodbye.
Okay, there you go. I've been Nate Fancher, and
Kyle Flowers.
all right, we'll see you in the next one.
Taylor.
And Taylor.